Yes. Yes. Nice. Left turn. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back. I got the 14-inch tunnel jet on the block. I just finished this build up. This is a Dr. Jet wood kit. Okay, it's a little boat. Everybody on the planet, like right now, it seems like everybody's like biggest this, fastest, bigger, better. Step back and enjoy the little things. You know what I'm saying? This thing was a fun little build. Today we're actually going to be installing the electronics, the hardware, servo, everything, trying to fit all of this into this little teeny tiny area. Little boats are fun, but they're freaking tough, especially like riggers and like this little F1. So before we get into installing all the electronics, I wanted to go over the hull itself. Okay, just kind of give you a little walk around and some plans that I have for the boat. Okay, so yeah, it was a pleasure. It was actually a freaking pleasure to build. I didn't video it. I kind of took my time on it and enjoyed the process. You know, you gotta enjoy the little things. You know, the toughest part of this build was the hatch. You know, it looks simple. It looks simple. Still got a couple little nicks right there, I just noticed, but it looks simple enough to construct. But man, it took me a couple weeks to finish this hatch and get it the way I wanted it. You know, getting it all fitted like perfect on the back of the hull right here, keeping it light, and the overall appearance that I was going for. Yeah, it was a challenge, which I enjoyed every second of it. Now, this is where the motor is going to go, up forward, of course, and then we got this area here cut out. Basically used a Dremel with like a one of these little bits right here, and kind of CNC the inside of it out, you know. And then I put a light coat of epoxy because I'm using that open cell foam. I didn't want it to absorb any water. Okay, so that's that. All right, my stuffing tube in 3/16 stuffing tube for that 0.098 cable. Okay, dead nuts in line with the keels, the sponsons. All right, so I got my digital level box here, and we're just gonna kind of put it on my ride surface to get the dead rise, and on the non-trip right here. This may help somebody out. I don't know how well the boat's gonna run. I didn't do any research. I just kind of went with my gut. I don't even know what Dr. Jet had this set at with the original like layout of the boat, but I went for 10 degrees. So I'm gonna kind of keep the boat still here, and I went for 10 degrees. Such a small ride surface. Trying to get it flat on there. Yep, dead nuts 10 degrees. Okay, same on both of them. The non-trip should be 40 on the dot. Okay, 40 degrees on both sides. So Dr. Jet designed this boat right here with a one degree cant on these stringers right here. Okay, the inside of this sponson, it's like angled in 1 degree. Okay, so we shouldn't have to put a turn fin on it. It should hook up in a turn. He's thinking it should like help hook up with that outside angles and the dead rise I have there. She ought to float, boy. She ought to freaking just like catch a damn left or right turn just as hard, about damn near throw the paint off the boat. You know what I'm saying? The only other F1 tunnel hull I've ever run was this old MRP Bud Light. And this boat here, it doesn't have a lot of dead rise, like maybe 2 degrees dead rise on the ride surface, and literally like no non-trip, you know. And I finally did kind of get it running right, but every time it would like catch an edge and roll over. I had my CG 30%. I've tried 40%. Hell, I even tried 45% CG. I tried just about every strut position under the moon with this boat, and every time in a hard like high speed turn, she would just catch an edge and flip over, you know. And I wanted to completely avoid that with this boat right here. You know, it's always a learning experience with every boat you build, every type of boat you run. It's a learning experience, you know. So I actually have a tip for you. To get this angle like the same all the way down, because you don't want any like dips and like raised spots on these ride surfaces. And this is a very important part of any boat, you know. You can improve the ride of any boat, like not modifying, just bringing it to its like intended factory shape, you know. No low spots, no high spots. So what I did with this one here, and all boats are different, you know. I have a couple different techniques I use to get that angle right. But I basically found a board that had about the same angle, you know, the height of the board. It gives me the right angle on my ride surface, okay. So what I'll do is I'll hook that sponson, okay, and then of course my sandpaper is glued down. And I'll basically keep this sponson as flat as I can, okay? And then I'll pull it across that sandpaper and slowly keep the boat on the block flat every time. You got to do it the same every time, and pull it across that sandpaper, okay? Basically like that number right there. Then I'll flip it over. I'd start on the other side. Make sure it's flat and pull it, okay? And that gave me that 10-degree angle. If I were to go lower or higher, I could get more or less angle on my ride surface, okay? The non-trip, I mean, I guess you could set you up like a really tall jig, you know, and do the same thing. But I basically just like crimped like on that sponson, hooked it on there, and then put pressure on it, and I kept that exact pressure every time I'd make a stroke. Very, very meticulous. I actually have a little low spot right here that I'll probably end up filling tonight, and it looks like I got one there. This side's dead nuts perfect, okay. This side I'm still working it out, but yeah, so I'll get sidetracked, start jacking my jaws talking about these boats. I apologize, you guys. So you guys see these 2 holes in my hull, okay? That's where I'm gonna actually mount my motor mount. It's just set up so it screws right in from the bottom. I'm gonna run the boat a couple times before I actually do this, what I'm about to show you. But I just wanted to see what the boat did without this modification. Okay, so we got these screws showing, and I know it's like kind of an eyesore, and I know a lot of you guys are like, what the hell, B? So what I did was I just put a little O-ring on there. The screws ain't gonna hurt nothing. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. But what I'm gonna do to hide it is I've got some pieces of carbon fiber here that I made a little wedge. Okay, a little wedge shape, and I'm gonna epoxy here. I'm gonna epoxy right here, and then I have this real thin piece of carbon fiber I laid up a while ago, and I've got me a knife edge grinded on it, okay, and we're basically gonna set that right there. Now I do have some screws, and I may get some different ones. That's why I'm not going to do it right now. One of the reasons anyway. I have a little blade helicopter one of them Horizon Hobby micro blade helicopters, but I had to get a screw set for it, and it comes with these like little teeny tiny self-tapping screws right here. You guys see that? I don't even think that's the right one, but I think I'm going to use 4 of those to attach this piece of carbon fiber. That's basically going to be like a recovery. You know, if the boat goes to like nose dive, like say she's running, she hits a wave, she goes to nose dive, this little ramp ski recovery right here will help recover the boat so it don't nosedive into the water, basically. Okay, so that's basically what it will look like with that little screw in there. I was testing it out here. You guys see that? So I may countersink it, or I may get like a special screw that'll, you know, anyway. So that's my idea there. Pretty simple, easy to hide. Okay, and it may help. It may help with the overall performance of the boat. You know. Now I'm going to go over everything I'm putting in the hull. Using the stock motor from the Powerboat Racer, Proboat Powerboat Racer, same boat we got the strutter from. Okay, 2100 kV. Stock motor mount from that boat. All I did was basically cut the little arms off that mounted the motor. Okay, I cut those 2 off and basically got this guy right here. Okay, this particular motor mount had the cooling nipples mounted on the bottom here instead of like the sides like you see here. Just took the nipples out, boom, mount it from the bottom as you guys seen earlier. Alright, ready to go. So I'm using this outrunner motor because I want the boat to self-right. Okay, they flip. I want it to self-right. And I like the way I made this mount work, so I just had those 2 screws pull it out. For those of you who have the Powerboat Racer, you get this boat, you want to actually just use the electronics, the motor, boom, that's an option for you. And it'll self-right. Later on, if you wanted to change the motor out, all you gotta do, make you a little motor mount. Alright, boom, boom, boom. Okay, put you a little 2435 in there. Okay, boom, 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 and you got yourself a in-runner motor, which the boat wouldn't self-right. So, and this outrunner motor is going to alleviate a lot of that prop, like torque from the propeller, you know, torque rolling, which these boats aren't going to torque roll. But if you want to run a big prop or something, which that's what I'm going to be doing because I'm running this lower kV motor, I'll have a bigger prop on, I could prop up, so the outrunner is going to be counteracting that torque roll. You know what I'm saying? So just an option if you guys are going to go this route. Just an option for you. You got options, okay? You're not locked in. Because there's not a lot of motor choices with these valses right here. There's not a lot of motor choices out there, but hell, it was cheap way to go, and they work for what we're trying to do. They work, you know. ZTW 30, like you guys seen in the previous video. Using just a generic servo. I actually ordered 3 of these guys right here, and I got the ones that they don't center, the robotic style servos. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I have no idea, but yeah, that's what I'm using for servo. This basically just it basically just slides right into place. It's really cool. I'm actually using just some push pull rods here. This is stainless steel. I want to say it's 80-pound stainless steel fishing wire. Okay, I used to use this black tip shark fishing, and it's actually perfect for this push-pull steering. It's a little flimsy, but this motor with both working together, it should be perfect. Okay, a little Z-bend on the end for the servo. Okay, For the drive line here, I've got a 3/16 K&S brass tube. Okay, K&S 3/16. Using a liner with a .098 cable. 1/8 stub shaft, 1/8 drive dog prop nut with a TFL 430. Okay, that's what we're going to start off with. Oh yeah, the coupler for the motor is Eddie. All right. D-U-N, done. All right, I've been busy the past 4 hours. Actually, probably a little bit longer than that, trying to finalize everything. Went over the hull, went over all my hardware, electronics. So I'll just kind of show you how I jammed everything into this little hull. All right. So first of all, I actually changed out that XT30 to a XT60. I did not think I was going to have enough room for that XT60 to sit on top of my battery. So that's why I had went XT30. So I actually had to carve out a little area in my hatch for that plug to sit. Okay. The wires from my ESC and from my servo to the receiver, I spliced. I cut them short and spliced them. Okay. It was tedious. It was like time consuming, and I really didn't want to freaking do it, but I'm super glad I did. I ended up cutting about 7 inches. Where's that? Yeah. I ended up cutting about 7 inches of wire off. This is the program box programming port and an app programming port for your phone. I just basically capped it off with a piece of heat shrink, okay, and I spliced everything together. I did it the hard way. They do sell these little prongs for these plugs that you can basically crimp on and shorten your wires that way, which I'm actually going to look into. I actually need to get some because that's something I've been needing to do. So I did it the hard way. So it's all done. It's all done. We're going to get a weight real quick. All right. Got my servo hooked up. Okay. Just used a couple of like 3mm silicone tubes on top of one another to for my bellow to waterproof the through hull. Okay, so my center of gravity is, I don't know, maybe 35% with that bigger battery, give or take 35% from the transom. Okay, I think tunnel holes is like 25 to 40%, somewhere in that neighborhood, depending on your strut position and all that good stuff. So yeah, and then with the smaller battery, it's more like 25-30% with the smaller battery. Okay, all right, so pretty stoked. We're going to run this motor first, and then we'll run this motor later on, then eventually we'll run one of these motors. Okay, I also have this ABC prop that I'm thinning out, balancing, and working on, so we'll be running this ABC 1214 on the boat. All right, and let's get us a real quick weight, and we'll run out to the pool and see if this thing self-rights. Thing cleared out, tear. All right, and had you guys zoomed in. Hopefully everything was good. No battery. 330 grams. No battery. With the cowling, 376 grams. With the 2S battery, 400 grams basically. And with the larger 2S battery, 466. Okay. All right. Self-righting test. Nice! Yes! I freaking knew it would self-right with that outrunner. Heck yeah. My pool's green. It's winter. Oh, wrong way. Oh, she's running good. Oh, it's cold out here. I got shorts on. Nice! Left turn. Get out the way, ducky. Oh man, she is running good. Oh, you see how that bow dipped in? I'll do a slow-mo on it. Oh, it's stable, man. Whoa. 2S has got some zip, boy. All right, that's freaking awesome, man. Let's see if there's any water, because this back section right here, it's got it like a crack in it. So did have a little bit of water in there, but not much. I'm tickled to death, boy. And it was actually like, it was like holding its own in a turn in that little pool, man. She was just as planted as you ever want to see. I can't believe this big battery fits in this freaking boat, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I did have some water in here, so back here I think I'm going to run like a little bead of silicone or something, maybe even like some weather seal, a little piece of weather seal across that back crack, just to kind of help keep some water out. But other than that, man, it was holding its own. So we'll see you guys next time. I'm going to try to do a maiden in the next couple of days for you guys. We'll work on this. I'll bring my board out to the pond, and we'll kind of do some strutter adjustments, up and down, positive, negative, see what we can do with it. Okay, I'm excited. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you. Thanks for watching.